Just waiting. Yep, we're live.
Oh, cool.
Hi everyone, welcome to the CU Atlas channel, Twitch channel. We're excited that all of you guys are here. Thank you for joining us for another day, another Friday night. Jared and I are here, and we just kind of wanted to show you Jared's setup. This is his desktop and kind of where all the magic happens. He does quite a bit in this room. And like directly in front of me, can you kind of tell them what you see in front of you?
Sure. Yeah, I can describe it. I guess we don't really have a good angle on it, but I've got my iMac, which is what you guys can see here. And the program that I have opened up here is Ableton Live 9. It is an audio recording, audio editing, audio engineering tool, I guess you could say. There's lots of different things you can do with it. Everything from recording songs to setting up loops. It's a really popular program that electronic musicians use. But I guess because you can, it's really good for doing live performances with. So that's the software. I use an audio interface device by Native Instruments called Complete Audio 6, and that's a little external sound card that has the ability to plug in microphones and instrument lines, and it translates that into a digital format that Ableton can understand. But it also outputs to two KRK Rocket 6 monitors, speakers, and I guess you can kind of see that on the right there. That's one of the speakers. And then yeah, I just got a bunch of different like MIDI controllers. I have a Novation 49 SL Mark II for a keyboard input. Keyboard meaning like piano keys type input. I have a little drum pad, and then with my interface I can plug in other instruments like electric guitars or basses, that kind of stuff. So, and as well as microphones for recording vocals. So yeah, that's kind of a quick, basic setup. Rundown with the setup.
We have to recognize that manager Anna covered all of these all over the room.
These what? They can't see what you're talking about.
She covered all of these. They're not styrofoam. What were they made of?
This.
She covered all of these.
What Sarah is talking about here are these panels, which are around the room. They are made from a sound dampening insulation that you can pick up at like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. Made by Roxul, I believe, and they're just these 2 by 4 foot insulation panels. Off the top of my head, I can't remember how much they cost. Like maybe $60 for a pack of 8 or 10. And anyway, built little wood frames out of 2 by 4s for them to wrap or to encase the insulation panels. And then my wife Anna, she wrapped them in fabric, and so that they would look nice, and then used picture wire, and they just hang on the wall like you would a picture frame, and they are strategically placed around the room to help deaden the sound and help with sound bouncing back at you. So when we're doing things like mixing and mastering, you want to reduce the amount of sound reflections that are coming off the walls and into your ears, because that, not to get too technical, but it just helps you hear the correct sound as it's intended to be and not hearing reflections off of it, so off the wall, that is. So anyway, physics man.
I'm also sitting on is this broken, the drum seat? So it's like
Did you
super.
break it?
No, it's like
It should
super
be.
wobbly, and then it makes a lot of sounds. And if all of a sudden I disappear, I've fallen and I can't get up.
I don't think it's broken. I think maybe the seat's not screwed all the way down.
That's probably what it is. So if I'm like
Just
wobbling
don't
around
fall
making
over.
noises, it's because of the seat. But
Don't
yeah.
fall over.
If you guys are joining us after watching the first or second broadcast, we are working on a secret song for my final project. Shh. And our secret song is about
Dinosaurs.
So this is what we've been working on. We've had various Twitch users help us with the lyrics. And so something that we did though over the week is that we kind of completely changed the song.
We jumped ahead quite a
We
bit.
jumped ahead.
We jumped ahead without you guys. We apologize.
Yeah, but I had to get this done for my project, which is due next Wednesday. And so we had to, unfortunately. But we kept the lyrics the same. The lyrics are the same. Everyone that contributed, thank you so much. Those lyrics will still be there. But we did change the time signature. I think that was like the biggest change, one of the biggest changes.
When we started writing it, it was in 4/4.
And now it
is in 6/8. So if you're unfamiliar with time signatures, 4/4 is a pretty common pop and rock time signature. It just means there's 4 beats per measure. But we changed it to 6/8, which is a common like jazz and blues and other types of music, but has more of a swing feel to it. So it just means that it's a little, I don't know, swingier, groovier. Do we have some people?
We do. Chloe's here.
Hi, Chloe.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Chloe.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's our favorite human. Chloe's our favorite human.
If you missed our intro, we've jumped ahead quite a bit, and we've changed a lot of things from the last time you were with us. So,
but
yeah.
The lyrics are the same. So all of the lyrics that you guys helped us with, those have not changed. We wanted to keep those because we knew that you guys contributed and that meant a lot to us. So those are the same. But yes, we talked about time signature, that changed. So it's a little bit more swingy, a little more bluesy. We changed the key. It went from E minor to
C minor. So not too bad.
But it did change. So we're still in the minors because we wanted to keep a kind of solemn, little sad.
Well, now especially the time signature change, it definitely feels more bluesy. So the blues are sad when you have the blues, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
And then what else did we change? Key signature, we changed
the melody.
Ooh,
a little bit.
Yes, the melody did change. So I don't even remember the other melody.
Well, thankfully it's recorded, so you can go back and watch it.
So we changed the melody too. And I like it a lot better the way it is right now. So what happens sometimes is you get an idea and then you go a different direction, so you kind of have to scrap what you had. But ultimately, if you're happier with the finished product, then you've made the right decision. And so I really like the way this song changed and developed, and so hopefully you guys do too. Do we want to maybe have them hear piano? And so
sure.
Can you tell us what all those layers are, Jared?
Yeah. So let me start with saying when we started changing some things, we went ahead and actually recorded a lot of the vocals and some piano. We did that earlier this week, and just so that we could start getting some stuff down. And then over the last couple of days, I've gone in and added other instruments and other layers. But what we'll start with right now, and I know maybe kind of hard to see, but what we'll do down here, and I've got these labeled, so we've got lead vox, which is lead vocals. We will solo that out, and then we'll go up to the piano.
And we recorded all of this during the week, so if you're wondering, like, how did they end up with all of this stuff, we actually met on, was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday, and re-recorded the entire thing. And I don't think I've ever gone straight through, like, in one recording the entire song, but we, like, did it. I think it was, like, adrenaline / we needed to get it done, or I needed to get it done, and so, yeah, we went straight through.
Yeah. Let me just actually disarm. It's gonna solo it, but something's acting weird. Okay. So now, let me do disarm. Okay, so what I just did is went through and disarmed tracks, which just means you're not going to hear what's going on in that channel. So we should only have piano. Oh, nope, I missed one. I don't think anything's on that channel anyway. It's a scratch channel.
So there's piano and vocals for now.
Piano and vocals. Okay, and you want to go through the chorus? Or
how about verses? Because they helped with the verses. They
helped.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, the chorus is, we didn't have a chorus when we left last week. So the chorus is new, but we'll let you listen to the new melody for the verses that you helped us write, and the new chorus, if that's okay.
So, yep, just piano and vocal, verses and chorus. Here we go.
You disappeared, you went away, almost without a trace. Now I'm here, there, then this. We could have shared this place. So gone, thought you were so gone, but pieces of you remain.
Alright, so hopefully you guys could hear that okay.
Yeah, all the words are the same. Actually, I did change the sequence. So before it was you went away, you disappeared, but we changed it to you disappeared, you went away, almost without a trace. Now I'm here living this. We used to share this place. And again, if you guys remember, the song is about dinosaurs, and so we are referring to them. And then the next part...
And I should mention, too, the reason switch some of those lyrics around is so it would fit the cadence of, you know, the rhythm of the song a little bit better.
That's a good point. So in 4/4 it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in 6/8 it's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So because of that new cadence, we needed to rearrange some of the lyrics so that it would actually flow a little bit better. And so that's something that happens a lot too. Sometimes just rearranging a little bit sparks a little bit of creativity and just makes everything sound a little bit better.
Yeah, so what do you guys think? Let us know how you feel. It is a different feel. It's swingy. I like that. And so, yeah, bluesy. And then should we have them listen to the bridge?
Sure.
And where the bridge came from. So the bridge is a brilliant idea from manager Anna, actually.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. And we really like dinosaurs, and I really like the T-Rex. And so the bridge is actually a shout out at the T-Rex. The lyrics go, well, she was talking about how the T-Rex has short arms. If you look at our little little guy over there. Let's name him.
Tiny arms.
He has very, very tiny arms, and so we wanted to reference those arms. And so it's, oh man, I have to actually listen to it, but it's about that. So let's just have him hear it because I completely forgot it.
Things being out of reach.
Oh, out of reach. That's right. Oh, everything was just so out of reach. Those are the words. I remembered them now.
Okay. Ready?
Oh, everything was just so out of reach. It ended before we began. Oh, everything was just so out of reach. It ended before we began.
Cool.
So that's our shout out at the T-Rex. And whenever I hear that bridge, it makes me smile because it's about the T-Rex. Oh, everything was just so out of reach. It ended before we began. And that last line, it ended before it ended. So life ended for them before we began is basically what that means. But do we want to maybe let them hear the entire track from
Sure.
beginning to end?
With all of the layers or
No,
none of the
maybe
layers?
just a couple, and then we'll talk about what layers you added.
Cool. All right, so we are going to go start to finish with vocals and piano.
Cool.
I should also mention too,
Mm-hmm.
kind of neglected to mention, the piano that you're hearing, it's not technically a real piano. It is my MIDI keyboard going through a plugin made by Native Instruments. And you can see on my screen here, this is Native Instruments Contact Player using the Giant library, which is basically samples of an upright piano in an immaculate space. So it is real piano recordings, samples that this library uses, and then you just play like you would a regular piano, only you have more control over how things sound. You can put it in a completely different space. Like down here you see it's in a large hall, but there's options to like put it in a cathedral or an arena and things like that. So that's the piano sound that I'm using.
And it actually changed from when we first started because we were talking about how you were using just like a simple upright, right?
I was using this one called Upright Piano in the lovely Harry Potter font,
Love that.
which it is more of it, like it has an old upright piano sound, so kind of like slightly used and maybe not quite perfectly tuned kind of sound.
But when we were starting to record, like it felt like it just needed to be fuller, and so Jared jumped in here, and he found that looks like super sleek. Looks like super sleek. Cool. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
So yeah, if you guys need add-ons, check that one out.
Yeah, this is anything by Native Instruments is really high quality in my opinion, and this library has a lot of other stuff which we won't necessarily get into. But there's other types of pianos, grand pianos, synthesizers, and drums and stuff. So really good stuff. Anyway, so that's that, and we will play the song start to end for you.
You disappeared, you went away, almost without a trace. Now I'm here, there, then this. We could have shared this space. So gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain.
Yeah, no, that's what we'll talk about it.
Oh, that break. Now I'm here, living this, almost without a trace. So gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain. So gone, thought you were so
Cool. So that's the song in its entirety, with the vocals and piano. We did have a question about the software. So the program we're using is Ableton Live 9, um, and yeah, it's kind of my go-to. I make a lot of electronic music, and it's really good for that. But um, I mean, it can be used for anything, recording-wise as well. But it kind of specialized, um, like its target market was electronic musicians and hip hop artists. So the tool is kind of built to accommodate performing live with, as well as doing what we're doing, and recording a song. So yeah.
So you heard the very simple version of the song all the way through, but Jared added some really cool pieces that completely changed the feel of the song. Like the general idea is there. Everything that we wanted to express is still going to be captured in this song, but there's something really cool happening here. Do you want to show them maybe just a couple of layers added into a chorus?
Sure. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do here
My favorite is the beat. The beat. Drop the beat.
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna loop a section.
I'm gonna fall.
Don't fall. So I'm gonna select a little area here to loop, so that we can kind of go through each layer. So we'll start with what you heard. I already showed you the piano, and I'll show you these right here are all, in this blue line here, are all vocal tracks. So when we were recording,
how many times did we record? A lot.
A lot. But so when we were recording Sarah's vocal, I mean, don't want to get too technical with this stuff because we're really talking about songwriting, but we recorded it, her singing all the way through the song, several times. It took several takes. And the reason we do that is because sometimes, like one take might have a really strong chorus, but the verse needed a little bit to be a little bit better, but you don't want to ditch the whole take just because one section. You can actually edit things out and use different sections that you find that are good. And then the other reason is, and why we keep all these layers, is you'll hear in the chorus, we're actually doubling and tripling up on the vocal layers, and that just helps the vocal to sound stronger and bigger than life kind of thing. So that's what's going on with the vocals there.
Also, I mess up. Sometimes I'll like be singing and then I'll forget a lyric or like coughing. Oh, one thing that I did want to share with you is like my go-to drink, and the reason why I melted an entire bottle of agave in Jared and Anna's.
Apparently, Sarah did not know that if you put plastic in a microwave, it melts.
I do know, but I do know. I promise, I do know, and I also know about BPA.
A microwave
and all of
otherwise,
that. But
okay.
I just like put it in the microwave for a split second because it was like the very, very last bit of agave in there, and I wanted to use it, but your microwave is a lot more powerful than mine at home. So anyway, that aside, like one thing that's really good for your vocals is I always have a very large cup and multiple cups of warm water with honey and lemon. So the lemon will cut the honey and it kind of coats your throat very nicely, so that if you are going to be singing for a long time, multiple takes, it really does help. So honey lemon water with lemon. That's what I said.
And warm.
Warm honey lemon water.
Yeah.
I said lemon twice.
It's okay.
So yeah.
Double shot of lemon if you're
double shot of lemon.
Cool. So you want me just to layer in?
Yeah. So my favorite thing is the beat. When I first kind of heard this song before we started writing, I heard a really cool electric, which you've added. So maybe with a couple of the different layers.
Cool. So we'll start with the beat. Ableton has this built-in drum rack, and what it allows you to do is drop in drum samples, which I'll kind of show you. We got a kick sample here. Oh, maybe we do. You can't hear it because I don't have it armed.
Oh yeah, you turned all of them off.
So I click that button to arm the track, which just means now we can hear it. So we got a kick sample, nice and beefy.
I love it.
Snare sample, and our hats. And these other things were different samples that I tried, but I ended up liking these three the best for this track.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick because we have a new friend in here. Hi,
Oh,
Mocap.
yeah? Hello.
Welcome. Continue. Beats. Cool. Beats, beats, beats.
So, and then what I did here is what we're seeing down here, which our dinosaur friend is kind of in the way. Sorry, buddy. What we got going on down here is a MIDI piano roll, and this just allows me to place where I want those samples to be triggered. So you'll see like this line of several of those are the hi-hats playing on all of the eighth notes. Then you'll see a pattern here of the kick and snare, which are spaced out to create our beat, our pattern in the rhythm. So
you guys also heard like a couple of breaks, and it's because of the placement.
Yep, and so that's a common thing to like drop drums out for a second to kind of give a little feeling of tension or something. I'm soloing the drum section here so you guys can hear the beat by itself. And cool, so there's that. What else would you like to just kind of go through each one, or
maybe layer on layer on the drum, the electric, keys, vocals. Yeah.
So let's see. I'll show you here. I actually have 4 guitar tracks going on, and we'll kind of solo those out so I can show you what's going on there. So let me solo and solo that.
Jared's so organized. It's like pretty and organized. I love this. So this is what I heard when I was like reorganizing it. It was like this guitar part.
So we got 4 layers of guitars going. This first guitar, we'll solo that. It's pretty quiet, but that's providing just a basic rhythm layer, and it's panned all the way to the left, meaning that all of that sound is coming out of the left speaker. And then I did a second take of that same rhythm and panned that all the way to the right. So it's pretty much the same rhythm, but the reason I did that is because it helps kind of create, like, take 2 different takes, and unless you're a robot, you're never going to be like do the same rhythm perfectly every time. I don't care how good you are. If you say that you can do it perfectly every time, I'm going to call you a liar. No, but what's cool about that is when you take 2 different takes, then you pan them left and right all the way. So one take is all the way in the left speaker, one take's all the way in the right speaker. They're just slightly different, and it creates kind of an interesting layer, and just kind of adds something, that just kind of
depth.
Just creates depth and something interesting that your ear is actually kind of like, oh, okay, there's like something going on here. And then guitar 3. It's a little bit
rhythmic.
It's a little bit twangier of a guitar too. And then guitar 4 is just very much slower. Now I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. But So what I did with those first two guitar tracks, I used a Gretsch electromatic guitar. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with guitars or not, but it's a hollow body guitar with humbucker pickups, so it just has a all-around rounder, fatter tone to it. And then guitar 3 and 4, I used a Fender Telecaster, which uses humbucker pickups and just gives it a twangier sound. And then something that's really cool, again, I'm going to shout out Native Instruments, and if you guys want to give me free stuff, I will take it. But their plug-in guitar rig is really cool, because what this does is it allows me to simulate different types of amps, because I am not rich and I can't afford thousands of dollars worth of amps.
Do you have one over?
I have one in the other room, yeah. I have a Fender amp in the other room. But what this allows me to do is simulate other types of amps. Like this is a Marshall emulation, and then I used a different type here. And yeah, so all 4 tracks actually use a different setting, different amp combination, and the reason for that too is, like I was saying, doing the 2 different takes and painting them left and right creates kind of some, when you use different amps too, it kind of makes it sound just slightly different enough that it creates an interesting layer. So when you put all of the guitars together, sounds like
So
that.
cool. Can you guys hear that okay?
And I know you guys are hearing it come through one kind of mono speaker, so you might not get the full quality of it like you would in stereo, but anyway.
Let's let them hear a chorus with everything.
With everything?
Yeah, so...
Okay, so just those are the main big layers. There's, of course, the piano, which we talked about. I've added this synth, which is like just some simple stabs, if you will. And a lot of the stuff you're not going to hear like necessarily prominently in the track, but what it's there for is to just kind of add a layer of something there.
And the fullness of sound,
yeah,
it really does change and impact that.
Definitely. And then let's see, I did bass guitar. I used an electric bass guitar here. Really simple bass line, and actually took 2 takes of that and did a similar thing. But that one is not getting panned left and right. Bass should stay center, in case you were wondering. But I don't want to get too far into mixing stuff.
And it's not mastered yet. Chloe asked a really good question. It's not mastered yet. We're just showing you the progress that we've made in the past week. Jared's going to master it. Hopefully
there'll be more mixing and mastering going on over the next couple of days, and that's where I'm just adjusting the levels of each instrument and making things fit together so they sound good all together. And you can pick out instruments, but also making sure everything like meshes together. And in a song like this, like it's really important that you hear the vocal over everything. So that's another reason why we doubled up on a lot of the vocal tracks and things like that. So yeah, let's see what else. I think that's good for now. I don't need these. Yeah. Okay. So you want to hear everything together?
Yeah.
There's a couple pieces of unused, or a handful of unused tracks here. You see that I don't have them on. Those are some takes that we did that I'm keeping just so that I can, if I need to pull something out of them or use them, layer them up with something else, we can do that.
Did we turn on harmony?
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that we did was add harmony.
Which
we did it for the second chorus, and then all the way through until the end, including the bridges. And because the melody for the vocals was kind of big and large and kind of, it had a range, it went pretty high. I kept it very simple, and then I kept it low, so it's a lower harmony.
I can play that real quick. Just
so gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain.
And there's some reverb and delay on that, but we won't really get into that. So yeah, so we've got the drum beat, we've got bass guitar, we've got a couple of synthesizers, a piano, 4 different guitars going, and then layered background vocals as well as the main lead vocal. All of that layered together, and once when you got all of that together and turned on, you get this. So,
should we let them listen to the bridge? The bridge is my favorite. Again, because it's a shout out to the T-Rex, but also because I feel like the... How about bridge into chorus?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, everything was just so out of reach. It ended before we began. Oh, everything was just so out of reach. It ended before we began. So gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain. So gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain.
So yeah.
Cool. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, what else? I know we kind of made a huge leap in progress since the last time we did a stream. So,
and we have a new friend in here, Ezra Scott 224. We have been working on a song for the past 3 weeks that we wrote from beginning to end, and various Twitch streamers have been helping us with lyrics and ideas. This one happens to be about dinosaurs, and so we don't ever mention it or really allude to it directly in the lyrics, but this song is about dinosaurs, and that bridge that we just heard, oh, everything was just so out of reach, that is definitely about the T-Rex because of his short arms. And so this is kind of what we have so far. Again, this is not a completed, mastered thing.
Yeah, what's next now that we've got the arrangement kind of, well, I guess I should talk about that. Arrangement. So arrangement means like basically how you're structuring the song, like from like verse and chorus and bridge and things like that, as well as what instruments are playing and when. So believe it or not, you actually don't have every instrument playing all at once, just making a wall of sound, because then it doesn't really add any dynamic. It just feels like just a huge bout of noise coming at your face.
Vocals.
Yeah, and so arrangement is just basically deciding how the song's going to flow, which section, and then what instruments are coming in and where and what they're playing. So that's what we did this week. The last couple of days is going in and like decided how that structure is going to be, and then figured out what instruments we want in the song, and then where they come in and everything. So yeah.
Let's see. So we actually have a verse 1, verse 2, the chorus, and that's just one vocal, one vocal track, and then we go back into verse 3, which is actually a mix of verse 1 and verse 2 lyrically, and then we go into a set of 2 choruses, 2 bridges, a bridge 2 times is what I mean. Chorus 2 times, bridge 2 times, and then chorus 2 times to end. And that's how we set up the song here for the recording. As we mentioned in the past, Jared and I do like a lot of live stuff, and that's what we're used to. We're not really used to sharing everything online, but this is really new for us. But when we do live things, I know that at the end I would go back into the bridge. So I would come out of the song probably on the bridge because I really like it and it's funny to me. So yeah, and that structure can change when you're doing live performances, but all the things that Jared talked about, the layers of the instruments when they come in and come out to form dynamics that would still apply in a live set.
Yeah, we want to keep things interesting. And do you want to speak a little bit to, like you talked about verse 3, being a combination of verse 1 and 2, like kind of like the idea behind that and like, I don't know, tying things together?
Yeah, so let's see, what are the lyrics for verse 1? So, you went away, you disappeared, almost without a trace. Now I'm here living this. We could have shared this place. And the reason why we changed the words from we used to we shared is because I did some research, and UC Berkeley made it very clear that humans and dinosaurs never lived together. At least there isn't evidence of that now. And so it's we could have shared this place. And then verse 3 is, let's see.
Sarah likes her lyrics to be scientifically accurate.
I do like them to be scientifically accurate. Even though no one knows this is about dinosaurs. So
I just don't want Bill Nye to be disappointed.
Yeah, we don't want Bill Nye the Science Guy to be disappointed in us. And so, yeah, but again, this dinosaur concept, it's not something that we're going to widely tell people. Our folks on Twitch know, we know.
Yep. You guys who've helped us know what it's about, but we're trying to write it in such a way that people will think that, it could be about a bad breakup or whatever.
Yeah, could be about a bad breakup.
To us, we will know secretly in our hearts that it's about dinosaurs. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, so verse 3. Verse 3 is a combination of the two. Yeah. You disappeared, you went away, we could have shared this space. And so, honestly, if you just listen to it plainly without knowing what it's about, it kind of sounds like a guy or a girl that's going through a breakup that was left in like a house, an apartment by themselves, right? So gone, but pieces of you remain. It kind of sounds like someone moved out. But the pieces that we're referring to are fossils.
So, and the reason that you repeated the first part of verse 1 and then another part of verse 2, right, it was to kind of keep things kind of bringing things back together to like after a chorus, like kind of like reminding the listener like this is where we're at, is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Keeping a cohesive idea in a song is usually a good idea. I mean, there's no hard rules in anything in music. You can do whatever you want, but you typically would want a cohesive idea that keeps coming back around, and so that's why you repeat a chorus, like that's the catchy part that you repeat again, and it's the main idea of the song. And the verses support that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's kind of like when you're writing an essay, all of those rules still kind of apply. And you have more creative freedom with it, but for this one, we also wanted it to be a bit more simple structurally because we were teaching very, very beginners how to start in the songwriting process. But when we've written other things, we have pre-choruses in there, we have instrumental breaks, we have all different kinds of things going on for it, but the purpose of this exercise and kind of what we're doing here on Twitch for you guys, this was kind of what we landed on, and I like it. So if you guys don't have any questions, it's about 7:47. Should we maybe outro with them listening to the entire thing?
Sure. And Sarah alluded to it as well. This is what would be called a rough mix. It essentially means we've got all the elements in place and we've kind of adjusted the volumes of each track to a general area. But there's still a lot of work that needs to be done as far as making sure overall volume levels of each track are appropriate, making sure nothing is overlapping. There's a lot of EQ, which equalizing certain tracks, so you might like take out some bassy notes from a instrument that doesn't need to have bassy notes and maybe accentuate the higher frequencies of a track, different things like that, just to help each track. The point is for it to find a place where in the song where you can hear it, but it's it supports the song as a whole. So
so I guess the plan for the next week is for Jared to start mastering this, mixing and mastering, and then I will be working on a lyric video that hopefully I can share with you guys. If it sucks, probably not, but if it's any good or semi-okay, we will share that with you guys, and hopefully you guys can hear the finished final product. If any of you guys know how to use After Effects efficiently, please let us know. I need some help.
Right. Do we have any questions? Or are we good?
Nope, no questions. Right. This is going to be our outro. Thank you guys all so much for joining us again tonight. Check out all the other streamers on the CU Atlas Twitch channel. They're doing some really cool stuff. And thanks for following.
Almost without a trace. Now I'm here living this. We could have shared this place. So gone, thought you were so gone. The pieces of you remain. Now I'm here living this, almost without a trace. So gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain. So gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain. Oh, everything was just so out of reach. It ended before we began. Oh, everything was just so out of reach. It ended before we began. So gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain. So gone, thought you were so gone. Pieces of you remain.